Now, the elephant in the room, the pig in the room. It's time to talk about Ethan Ralph of the RalphReport.com, hashtag Killstream. I said last week I don't want to talk about Ralph anymore, but unfortunately Ralph is a fucking retard, and I'm going to have to dedicate like a third of my show every week for the rest of my fucking life to talking about him because he's such a fuck up. I hinted last week, I hinted to everybody that I had challenged Ralph to a weight loss competition, and I said that I said these things outright, that I said that would be a fun idea. It would be a fun idea, and it would have been a fun idea to have like a little weight loss competition because he says he's 280. I was 275 at the time when I weighed myself for this purpose, and I said it would be a fun thing, and he accepted, and I was like, okay. So the stipulations would have been very simple. Time frame, 6 months. Start, doctor's note, height, weight, signed by doctor. End, height, weight, signed by doctor. Most pounds lost, 30 troy ounces of silver. Nick Rikita, escrow. Very simple. Most simple, direct thing ever. But as soon as I said this, I received an email from someone claiming to be one of Ralph's classmates. And this person claimed that Ethan Ralph in 1993 killed a dog as an elementary school student, and they killed this dog by hanging them over the back of a chair with their leash. So Ralph went into the kitchen and took the leash, and because it was a small miniature Dachshund, they just dragged it up off the back of the chair and asphyxiated it. And this was the allegation. And to back up this allegation, this person provided pictures of Ralph as a classmate, which I had never seen before. And this is the picture right here. And I didn't say anything about Ralph being like an ugly child. Ralph has since posted pictures of someone claiming that it's me. I think it might be me. I don't know. But he's like, which one of these kids do y'all think is the sexier child? Obviously, my papa, Ronnie Ralph, told me I was the sexiest damn boy he ever seen. I believe he was telling the truth, and there ain't no fucking way that pedophile Josh Moon would be a sexier boy than I was. What do you think, Twitter? So, okay, Ralph, whatever. I'm not saying that you were an ugly kid. If people want to go ahead and make shit up about, say that you were ugly and fat and you look like Eric Cartman, more power to them. I didn't want to have like a child beauty pageant started over these fucking child photos. I will concede that you look like a regular kid, a little bit hefty, but I'm not one to talk. So that was the first weird thing. I posted this picture on itself and I said, has anyone seen this before? Has anyone seen this picture before? And he flipped out and said, like, that fucking pedophile Josh Moon, he's gone out and hired private detectives, private investigators to find yearbook photos of me as a child, because that motherfucker is just so into my curves, my boy curves. He has to find the yearbook album of me. And I'm like, no, someone sent this to me, Ralph. So after that, after he freaked out about that, and I knew that was actually a picture of him, I'm thinking, okay, what do I do next, right? So I at the time I don't want to post this. Like, I legit don't want to fucking post that Ralph killed a dog. I don't want to. Number one, I don't even want to believe it. I just challenged this guy to a friendly weight loss competition. I thought it would be fun to like try and lose weight. I wasn't hoping that there would be a breaking news article about how Ralph murdered a fucking animal. I really wasn't hoping for that revelation. And number two, I don't know if it's real. Like, okay, he found a yearbook photo of Ralph. Like, I mean, he could have fucking like dumpster dived it. He could have broken into Ralph's home and stole it out of his mom's possessions because, on her side of the trailer. It could have been any number of reasonable, logical explanations to say that this person obtained this photo through some illicit means besides being his classmate. I could believe that. So, but I wanted to try. And if if I didn't get anything out of this, I wouldn't have posted it. I wouldn't have said anything about it, because it's like I don't want to be made a fool. I don't want this person to tell me this thing and then I'm going to post it for him on his behalf. You know, these random fucking people approach me and say like this guy, you know, killed this guy's dog. I don't want to be that person. If it was fake. So I, instead of just like saying that I think that Ralph killed this dog, I posted in chat, because you can see this chat up here, even when you're not signed in. I'm not signed in, but you can see chat right here. So what Ralph likes to do is he likes to open this chat all the time, and he'll just sit here and he'll read this fucking chat, and he'll read it on fucking stream and says, that fucking, who's in there? Haru Okumuro talking about me, talking about Josh, talking about me. We're going to see some real scene. Yeah, right, you fucking pedophile. Haru Momoku, you fucking anime motherfucker. Like, he'll just do that all stream, and he'll refresh and shit. And that's like his entire fucking stream now, his Tequila Sunrises. So he's sitting there doing this, and I realize he's doing this. I'm like, okay, time. I got my hands, I'm rubbing my hands together, and I decide, I start scheming. And as I'm scheming, I can literally hear this music in my head as I'm scheming. Where the fuck is it? Ha! I'm hearing this in my head as I'm scheming. Wait, I have to change the audio drivers because I'm using Linux, and everything audio related with Linux is a fucking nightmare. Okay, I'm hearing this in my head as I'm scheming. I'm thinking, how can I get that Ralph to confirm this with no evidence? I have literally no evidence whatsoever to confirm my suspicions. So I come up with a great idea, and I say to Ralph in this chat, which is on my website, the easiest fucking thing to ignore in the whole fucking world. I'm not in his chat saying like, Ethan Ralph, West Memphis, Arkansas, you tell me why you killed this dog, boy. I'm not doing that. I'm in my own chat on my own website that Ralph has no reason whatsoever to visit. And he's sitting there F5ing because the fucking thing, I'm shit at my fucking job, and this fucking thing doesn't refresh unless you press F5 when you're signed out. So he's sitting there F5ing the shit, literally. And then he goes, he sees me say, Ralph, what about the chair? Ralph, tell me about the kitchen chair. And because I said, actually before that I said, classmates had come to me and they told me these things that you did as a kid. And he's thinking like, well, fuck, shoot, boy, I didn't do nothing as a boy. I was the sweetest child. I was mommy's little angel. I never fucking did shit as a son. I think one time I stole some cookies from the cookie jar, but shoot, who hadn't done that? And then I said, okay, well, tell us about the chair, Ralph. And I even, in Haku Okamaru or whatever, Haku Daki Makaru says, it starts posting the chair emoji. And he says, kitchen chair, What could I have done with a kitchen chair? It's like, oh, I know what I did with a kitchen chair. You talking about that boy, Rail Aziz, whose fucking dog hanged himself off a kitchen chair? That boy was a bitch. I bullied him for years for it. I'll just play it because the clips are like right here. I just want to show you. This is how he reacted to the word kitchen chair. Pictures of him in a yearbook and kitchen chair are his prompt for this response. Dead air. Just him watching a corpse.
He says something, a kitchen chair. I don't even know what that is.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as state.
A kitchen chair. Okay. I remember a classmate of mine, his dog hung himself on a kitchen chair while he was at school. The dude was a complete faggot. That's what I remember. And he used to leash his dog. I guess they used to leash the dog on the table or on the chair or some shit. And the dog got it wrapped around his neck and killed himself. But I wasn't there. It had nothing to do with that. I just remember that story from my youth. I don't know if it was this kitchen chair, though. But I don't know. any other kitchen chair stories. They think I'm afraid to mention the term kitchen chair, apparently. I don't know.
In regards to item 113.
How does a dog commit suicide? Yeah, well, I may have told him that his dog killed himself because he hated him so much. That was a kind of a fucked up thing to say. But he had said some shit about me. I may have said his dog offed himself to get away from him. He used to always carry his dog around, too, and, like, he was one of those types.
It's actually 113.
Like, carry it, physically carry it.
With item 87.
Okay. Okay, just based off of that, do I have polls in Trovo? For the love of God, is Trovo good for anything? Magic chat? No. Chat settings? No. Do I have a... Is it really not a fucking poll thing in here? Come on. It's the easiest thing in the world. Every chat needs it. For some reason, they never add in polls. Okay, anyways, press 1 if you think Doggo Epstein killed himself. Press 2 if you think Doggo Epstein was murdered by Ethan Ralph. Just a general count of heads. I'll check both chats. I'm representing you, Odyssey chat. I'll represent what you guys think. I'm seeing an ocean of 2s. I'm seeing a tsunami of 2s. I see a couple ones on the Trovo chat, but they're just completely, totally obliterated by the 2s. And I see like 4. I see a bunch of 2s coming in Odyssey too. So it seems to be unanimous that Doggo Epstein was murdered, and he was not dogicide. At this juncture, chat, I find myself reminded of an episode of South Park where Britney Spears or some other whore goes to South Park and she has a miniature dog who blows his brains out with a gun that he acquires from the driver. And the bimbo, I think actually it's Paris Hilton, I'm pretty sure. And Paris Hilton says, "Aw shucks, not another one," implying that indeed many doggos had shot themselves in the brain. But I'm pretty sure that this particular Dachshund miniature dog did not take a gun and kill himself. I'm pretty sure that, like, okay, he's tried to explain this, by the way. So immediately, let's Jim Can't Swim this, because everyone keeps bringing this up. If you ever watch those fucking Jim Can't Swim things where someone's being interrogated, the detectives always try to get the person in the interrogation room to admit to a lesser crime. The pressure builds and builds, and then the person sitting there is like under intense scrutiny. He's losing his fucking mind. He's sweating bullets, and the detectives are hammering him, and he feels the need to get some sort of release to feel better about his situation. So he'll confess to a lesser crime. And it's like, well, sure, I was there and I knew of the dog, and the dog did in fact die by hanging over a kitchen chair, but actually I only bullied him intensely for years over this dog's death. I didn't actually kill him myself. And that's exactly what this fucking reminds me of. Some amateur psychology hour. That's exactly what I see transpiring in this fucking admission here. Because remember, before this, I had nothing. I had some fucking email from some guy, from some people, claiming that this fucking kid's dog died. And I was supposed to take that and be like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure, that must be true. I wouldn't believe any of it. I wouldn't have any reason to believe any of it. I didn't think that Ralph was capable of killing animals until he fucking verifies this information.
Various sub numbers of item numbers like that.
So item 1.
Null says they said you gassed your puppies. Well, how much sense does that even make? And how would you gas puppies? Think about what you're saying here, Null. Is that really the claim you're making? And is that the claim that Roth Aslan made? And will he put his name to that here today?
Right after, as soon as this accusation is made, he starts trying to guess who told me. And I've been very ambiguous. You know, it was a male. And it was at least one male. It was between 1 and 8 males. I'll leave it like that. And he immediately knows the name of this person whose dog died. And he is like threatening to sue him for defamation immediately, off the fucking bat. The most batshit insane reaction possible from an innocent person.
Okay? Because I will 100% sue the fuck out of anybody making a ridiculous claim like that. That is the dumbest thing. How would you even... First off, how would you even gas a dog where would I get the materials to gas a dog? Where would I don't even.
How could I gas the Jews? Where would I get enough Zyklon B to gas the Jews? And you say that they burned an oven? I do not have enough oven for 6 million. Maybe there were Jew killed, but not 6 million. Like, okay, like, for real, the most unconvincing testimony ever possible.
Well, Ralph Auschwitz'd, I do believe, is Jewish. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure.
Speaking of,
so maybe
he immediately accuses this guy whose dog is fucking dead, that he bullied 30 fucking years ago, of being a Jew. It was a Catholic. It was a Catholic elementary school in West Memphis, Arkansas. There's not a Jew in 6 million miles of that fucking school, Ralph. How the fuck are you gonna try and name him as a Jew? And that's why. Oh, don't listen to Josh, chat. The person accusing me of dog killing must be this Jew. Therefore, everything he says is wrong, factually wrong. Like, what the fuck?
Holocaust fantasies have overtaken his brain, or what have you. But think about what you're saying, and how would a third grader gas dogs? I don't even see how that comports with any type of reality whatsoever. But it's a shame that you didn't get that treatment, honestly, Noel, because that would have saved the world a lot of trouble.
And now he's like wanting me to die. All I've done is I've reposted this story that concern, like, literally these guys were at work and they were talking, and I know you're out there, you motherfucker. I fucking I was listening to this guy, or sorry, I saw something that knocked me off track. The story is that these people were at work talking about this fucking horrible demon child that they knew in elementary school. And I guess there's like still in the area or in Memphis or Tennessee or something like that. And a coworker says, "Hey, you should listen to this podcast called Mad at the Internet. Does this guy, Ethan Ralph, sound like your classmate?" And he's like, "Yeah, he does sound like that fucking demon classmate that we knew about." And he said, the guy who knows the podcast said, "You should email Josh the story of how Ethan Ralph killed a dog and see what happens." And that's the fucking story of how I got this information. So because this person, sent me this story about how Ethan Ralph killed this guy's dog, I'm the bad guy, and I deserve to be literally put in an oven and murdered for it, according to Ethan Ralph.
And saved your mom a lot of pain for birthing such a malformed, maladjusted loser such as yourself. But the bad guy says, "Okay, Roth is definitely a Jew." Yeah, I mean, there's no way. That's really the allegation? Did I gas puppies? That's really the allegation here. Think about what you're saying. Okay. So your big takedown of me is my Jewish. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Noel's big takedown of me is my Jewish ex-classmate claims that I gassed the puppies of the dog that I love more than anything on this earth, and I would absolutely.
Let's pause it right there. Before he gets into his next thing, which is fucking insane too. What he's doing is called reductio ad absurdum. And reductio ad absurdum means when you take an argument and you reduce it to the most ridiculous possible abstraction of that concept. The accusation was, there was actually two parts. First, Ethan Ralph killed this dog by hanging it. 2, Ethan Ralph killed puppies, his own puppies, the puppies of Sadie, his family dog that he loved. And from what I understand, the dogs, from Ralph's story, Sadie had puppies. Sadie didn't break the placenta correctly, had trouble with the pregnancy, and they were born prematurely. So Ronnie and Ralph had to break the placenta of the dog. And many of the dogs, most of the litter except 2, died immediately. And they had 2 puppies left, and Ronnie Ralph, God bless his soul, drunken asshole, I'm sure he was, tried to save the other 2 puppies by putting them in a shoebox. The allegation was that they had taken the shoebox and then put them in the oven, and the puppies had asphyxiated because there was no airflow in the oven. Ralph says that Ronnie was trying to keep them warm, but so he takes that allegation that probably that the shoebox had no fucking holes in it, that the dogs couldn't breathe and they died, and he abstracts that to, you're saying that I literally gas my own dogs, I'm literally putting them in an oven, I'm like literally Hitler with puppies, the pupper cost, remember the 2 puppies, like he does that. There's also reductio ad Hitlerum, which is the same thing but with Nazi Germany. It's the same fucking thing. It's literally, he did both things at once. Really classic, just like Cope-seed dilate mental gymnastics from him. And someone explained, like, okay, I guess it kind of makes sense from like a redneck perspective. You can't take them to a veterinarian because they're puppies and you're poor as shit and you live in West Memphis, Arkansas. That's fair. You can't save every animal. I understand. I know how it is. I once had an injured pigeon on my lawn that my cat got, and we talked to a vet, and the vet said it would cost a lot of fucking money to bring that pigeon into a veterinarian clinic and have it looked at. The veterinarian suggested that instead of spending a lot of fucking money on veterinarian care for a pigeon, to leave it out on the lawn for nature to take care of. And an hour later, we walked outside, and the decapitated head of the pigeon was on the front porch because the cat got it. And it's like, okay, I understand. Trust me, I get it. You can't save every animal. But leaving the dogs in the oven is a bad idea, not just because of the fact that they can die in an oven, not just because of the airflow issue, but because natural gas can create carbon monoxide, which is a poison and which will kill an animal, especially a weak newborn animal. So whether or not the puppies were going to live, putting them in an oven certainly didn't help and might have asphyxiated them. And from that, he has reducted it to, oh, they're saying an 8-year-old me, literally, like in a full SS uniform, gassed my dogs. And it's like, oh, fuck you, Josh Moon, you fucking pedophile motherfucker. Like, that's not what was being said, but okay. If that helps you sleep at night. And I really think, listening to this in retrospect, he goes on to say that this is the best memory of he and his dad. His dad trying to save those puppies was the best memory he ever had of Ronnie Ralph. And I think that one of the reasons why this shit pisses him off so much is that now, as an adult, you know, who's almost 40 fucking years old, he's looking at this memory that he cherishes of his dad, one of the only good memories of his father that he has in his entire life to think back on and to cherish. And he thinks, oh wait, my dad might have actually put those dogs in an oven with no fucking holes in their shoebox, and they might have suffocated in a carbon monoxide rich environment, and he might have actually killed those fucking puppies. And that is an like, even for a normal person, that's like a little bit fucked up, and he's genuinely pissed off that he has to contemplate that reality.
Support a genocide of this whole audience to bring back one of those puppies, and that's a fucked up thing to say. That's how much I love that dog. And I would 1,000,000 times support it as far as Kiwi Farm is concerned. If they said we could bring back those 2 dogs today and they would be full grown and healthy, but you got to lose everybody watching this show right now, I'd say, well, I don't know. I might have to lose them. I definitely have to think about it. Let's just put it that way. It would be a very tough decision. And so if you're okay, that's going to be the takedown. Okay, all right. Please roll with that one. I really hope you do. I'm completely terrified of the allegation, as well, as you can tell. I had a stash of Zyklon B at the house, of course. What the fuck is this?
Is a DVD of crime scene images. So I had to sub-item, which is 113.1, the specific image on that entire CD or DVD of images. So 113.1 is the actual file or image 979 on the CD.
Is this clip for...
And within that image, I had to then further sub-item 0.1.1.
Oh no, that was just I love how his show is just watching fucking court footage. How riveting.
See. He said you put them in an oven, you disingenuous faggot. My dad had them in the oven with the door cracked. It wasn't closed. It was so the heating pad would trap more heat in there. Not to burn them, to keep them warm, you idiots. It wasn't closed. The oven was open. This motherfucker literally having Holocaust fantasies, seeing the oven door. No, don't close the oven door. Oh! That's literally what's happening to this dude. Oh, not the oven. Not the oven door. Not the oven door. Oh!
That's so classic. Can I zoom in on that? I want you guys to see. I want you guys to see what a real fucking tard rage looks like. Right there. Let's just play it again.
It wasn't closed. The oven was open. This motherfucker literally having Holocaust fantasies, seeing the oven door. No, don't close the oven door. Oh! That's literally what's happening to this dude. Oh, not the oven. Oh! Not the oven door. Oh! Like, what in the fuck are they talking about?
That's great. That's like the biggest he's spurred out since the fucking Xander shit. Xander.
This is insane. Like, it literally is maniacal. I just can't even. And it wasn't my idea, by the way. It was my dad's idea because he was trying to keep the dogs alive. I didn't even know to fucking even try any of that shit with incubation and et cetera. They would have died that night if not for my father. Actually, this is one of my father's shining moments in my life. Was first off finding this dog Sadie for me to have, and second off, my dad went above and beyond. Actually, one of the greatest things he ever did in my life was trying to save these fucking dogs' life and doing everything he could to save these dogs, and like just completely altruistic, just trying to.
So that's what I mean. That whole thing, like, it's buffering right now. It's like, it's generally like one of the only good memories he has of his dad, and he has to defend that. And in his own like clockwork, he has to defend that kind of thing because it's so precious to him.
Just completely altruistic, just trying to.
Why is that not working? Oh, it's Odyssey buffering. He recorded Odyssey buffering. That's why it's fucked.
Elementary school days. Even try to fucking run that down. I slap the shit out of that motherfucker if I ever see him. That's period point blank. Yeah, and I don't give a fuck. Clip that shit out. I don't give a fuck. The shit he's saying, yeah. Miss me with that shit, fucker. I guarantee you. It really is like one of the more low things I've had thrown around, period. Since I've been doing this shit. Yeah. It really is. It really is, honestly. But yeah, my dad was a saint for that and a fucking legend for that. Did everything he could. Shout out to Pops.
Individuals, is that correct?
That is correct.
And based on what you've just described, is it your testimony that as
They mentioned something about a roller coaster in your home?
to that mixture, there is very strong support that it is Ms. Josephson, is that right?
In order for this DNA profile to have been developed, yes.
All right. So as far as
And quietly, Ethan, shut the fuck up. No, I don't give a fuck. Josh Moon can publish whatever the fuck he wants and can look up elementary school classmates. I don't give a fuck. I literally don't. I'm going to keep making fun of him. I'm going to keep talking shit. And I will say this, be very careful, though, the types of things these motherfuckers want to come out and say. Better be backed by fact. I will say that. I will definitely say that. A private citizen in West Memphis wants to come out and start talking shit. You better have the evidence. Let's just put it that way. You really better have. I'm gonna say this very clearly. You better have the evidence. That's what I'm saying. Any bullshit you're trying to make up about me, it would not be a good idea for any of those motherfuckers. I will tell you that. I'm not talking about Josh Moon. I'm talking about them in particular. So, yeah, that's my word to them personally. That I will be coming after anybody for some fake bullshit that's put out there. Yeah, for sure.
So if you think
Immediately going with like lawsuit shit, just great.
what is that?
And I literally don't even know. Like, I don't even know what they could be talking trash about or anything. I got suspended from school once when I was in the
Oh,
third grade.
this is him with the
'Cause
cookie.
I got in an argument with another kid. I'm trying to think what else big could have happened. I pissed behind a dumpster once at school and got in trouble for that. That was kind of funny. I'm trying to think what else. Because we were outside and they wouldn't let us go in to go to the bathroom, so I just pissed behind the dumpster like I did at the house. So I'm trying to think of what else. I played with
that's just some. Okay, never mind.
Gasoline behind my house when I was a kid. Had started a little fire that the neighbor had to jump over and put out, but that wasn't at school. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I really don't know. But I will say if it's some fucker putting their name to some fake shit, that would be a bad mistake. That would be a bad mistake for them.
And this is why he's like so fucking angry at me, because he's like he can't sue anyone because I'm not going to tell him who it is, and I've already lost the email, just so you know. Even if I got subpoenaed, I don't know who it is. I forgot who emailed me. I forgot how many people. I can't remember shit. I'm just fucking stupid, Your Honor. I'm fucking dumb as hell. I'm fucking the biggest idiot in the whole fucking world. I don't even remember what email. I don't remember what email address it was sent to. It's just gone, Your Honor. So yeah, he can only be angry at me, and that's why I think he's streaming like right now, saying that I financed Chris Chan's like sex dungeon with his mom.
I'll just point that out to all the homies back home for sure. But I literally can't. I don't know. Who knows? But yes, feel free to say whatever you want, talk to whoever you want. But that's my word on it. I don't really know what else you expect me to say, really. But
one more.
And he knows what he did. I literally don't have any clue what you're talking about. And I'm quite sure if it's you, it's something fake. And if you're bad, just go ahead and say it then. If you think it's something like really epic, go ahead and say it. You won't, because you know you're full of shit. Literally the only thing I could possibly think about that would be some crazy thing for my elementary school is I got in a fight with some dude in the third grade and bit him, which is kind of wild. I bit some dude, but that's because we were in a fight, and when it's a fight, I think everybody knows my personality, that I don't give a fuck in the first place. So I was kind of raised with street fighting rules, where if it's a fight, anything goes.
You know what it is? Yeah. I got into a fight once, and it was a kid like twice my fucking size. He was like really fucking tall and really fucking fat, and we got into a fight. It was just like a stupid kid fight, but I bit him, and I got into trouble. And I bit him because I definitely lost that fight. So he's trying to tell a story about how he lost a fight and had to resort to biting a kid because he was completely overwhelmed.
Yeah, I guess that would be the craziest thing that I could possibly think of from my childhood. Like those years, those elementary years. No, not an ear. It was his arm. Like he had me like this, and I bit his arm. I mean, it's a natural reaction. It's like, take a bite. And that was third grade. That was like third grade. So.
Then I laughed like the Joker.
That's really the only thing I could possibly think of. I don't know. But if you got something else, please bring it to the floor. But, you better be accurate with whatever bullshit you're trying to peddle. That's all I'll say. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. But literally, that's the only thing I could think about. And that was on the arm.
And that's it. That was the wind up before. That's just him talking. So the fallout of this was obviously Ralph is like super fucking pissed, and he's flinging all this shit, and it's just like, okay, it's just how he acts constantly. But he said that he didn't want to do the weight loss competition with me, and I said that's fine because, like I mentioned in the last stream, if the dog killing stuff is true, like that kind of sours the whole fucking friendly weight loss competition atmosphere, right? Like you don't want to have a weight loss competition with someone who you think kills animals. So that was okay. But then PPP said that he wanted to do a weight loss, just like him stepping on a scale and do that and just like shame Ralph, because Ralph's not going to lose any weight because he's like a fat retard. And I said, okay, and I posted a picture of my scale, and I said, okay, we'll do like weigh-ins and stuff, and I'll post this. I posted a picture of it that put me at, I want to say about 275. I can't remember exactly how much. It was like 124 kilograms. And then he picks this picture, and he says like, this is weak, and he's saying that I need to like post pictures of myself topless stepping on the scale. And he says, no, you don't really got to post pictures of yourself topless, just stepping on the scale. and I didn't like that. Because it's just like, why would you like if you wanted to do like a thing where you wanted to do like a weight loss competition, I would be up for it, but don't make videos like trying to like force me to. And now it's he got like so weird about it and saying like, oh, you have to do it, that I really don't want to do it at all now. I'll keep people up to date on my weight loss. I've lost 20 pounds this year, and I'm gonna continue to lose weight regardless of like what competition I'm involved in. I started at 275, and I weighed just this morning. I fasted yesterday because today's pizza day, and I thought I should fast before pizza. So it was a 122, and I think it's about 268 pounds, and I'm about 5'9", 5'10", around there. So if like I'll keep people up to date. Like I've been losing weight every week. I have no issue telling people that I'm losing weight. I will continue to lose weight. I don't need advice on how to lose weight. I'm already losing weight at a healthy pace. I'm satisfied with my weight loss. I'm satisfied with how I'm losing weight. I really don't need extra motivation. I don't need extra information. Everything is exactly as I'm happy with it. And I'm really, and I don't want to like the whole thing like, oh, you should step on a scale, like that's not asking too much. Stepping on a scale isn't asking too much. Well, you have to kind of consider like what that means from me. If I go out to my balcony right now and I say like, okay, here's my pigeon, here's my banana pepper, here's my scale, and then I step on the scale. If I do that every week and then suddenly I move somewhere, like if I move to like Albania, and like people will be able to look at the video record of me doing my weigh-ins and say, "Oh, Josh, we think that Josh might have moved here, but we would only know that if that's true, if we had some sort of proof that he moved at around this time." And then they could just look at the video record of this weight loss competition and say that, "Oh, he did. His scale, his weighing environment changed between these 2 weeks, so he must have moved between this." And it's just like, uh, you know, I have people who legitimately want to fucking kill me. Not just Ralph, but like people who try to find out where I live so they can send mail to my neighbors and call me a pedophile. So I have to try to explain something to someone in Serbian about, oh, you see, actually, you guys, I'm not what we call a pedophile. That was from Blockland like 15 years ago, and I'm actually the admin of a based website, and I hate the Pidori just like you base Slavs. So this is actually a Jewish trick from the far left back in the United States, and like that's fucking gay. That's fucking retarded. Like I'm not gonna like. It's not worth it. To do what? To own some fucking like fat people on the internet. You know what I mean? Like I don't give a shit. And the sad thing is, especially now, I can't do it. I just can't. I can't compromise. I can't say, okay, well, we'll do this thing with PPP. That sounds fun. I like PPP, but because he's tried to force me to do it, if I do it now, all I'm telling people is, oh, if you want something from me, just be bombastic, just be an asshole about it, and I'll fucking do whatever you want, because I'm easily goaded into doing things I'm not comfortable with. Like I could have figured out a way to like I could have put it in like a box or something, or on something hard, so that I could step on it reasonably and keep that consistent between locations. And what sucks is I would like to do that because I had a fun idea. PPP is like 380 pounds. I'm 275 when I started, and I want to lose about 100 pounds, and PPP needs to lose about 180 pounds. Well, guess how much Ralph weighs? He weighs exactly 280 pounds. If we both hit our goal weight, we would have lost one Ralph. And that's fucking funny. And it would have been great to like do it over a year so that, it's not unhealthy. You don't feel like tempted to do things that are bad for you or unsustainable long term. And we could look at this in like a year and say, like, look, we lost one Ralph. We lost an entire gunt. We lost one metric gunt between the two of us. But like, because he's being a fucking dickhead about it, I really don't want to, and I don't want to like compromise, because it's a bad sign to say like, look, if you want something from Joshua Moon, the owner of the Kiwi Farms, all you got to do is make videos and be an asshole about it, and he'll bend over to what you want to do. So like, I'm sorry, I really like PPP, and I really wish he hadn't have gone about it this way, because I would have loved to do that in a different context, but now it's like, nah, I'm just not feeling it. This ain't it, Chief. I'll update people on my weight loss, and if PPP wants to do the same, he can, and hopefully we'll both reach a healthier weight. But I'm not gonna do it like with videos and shit. I'm just not gonna do it. I think you have the wrong read with this one. I don't care. I've made my mind up, and I can't say like, oh, never mind. Now that people have made fun of me in my chat, I have to change my mind. Like, I'm sticking to it. Sorry. No going back now. I've picked my road. If that makes me a cuck incel pedophile, it's too bad. I'm taking the L. I've lost.